All right, well, hello again. Here's another little project I'm working on. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to uh, display all the data from um, all the systems on the bus. And so all the everything that I'm trying to monitor is all Bluetooth. So my initial plan was to use a tablet, which I got here, and I was going to mount it up on this panel above the fridge where I've got my slide out controls. That obviously is a temporary panel. um, the These are the switches for the slide out controls on the back side of this. There is the actual controls for the slide out. Well, basically what they do is they have an adjustable load electronic load sensor. So years ago, I when I did this originally, when I set the these slide out motors up, originally I installed these and adjusted them. So basically what happens is they run to the end of their travel, and the motors build a certain amp load when it stalls, and then these things kick them out, and they're on the back side of this. And there's also the 12-volt fuse panel is on the back side of this as well. So I'm going to hinge this, and then over in here, obviously, like I said, I'm going to replace this panel. This is just temporary, but I'm going to have, my thought was to have a tablet there, and the tank levels, the BMS for the battery level, all that kind of stuff. I was going to use a tablet. However, the Victron Bluetooth is not very good, very very weak. So that tablet idea didn't work. So what I did is I was mucking around with different ideas, and I finally came up with a Raspberry Pi. This is the latest, the version 5, and a 7-inch touchscreen monitor. And I thought initially that the Bluetooth on this Raspberry Pi was probably better, and because my phone works fine, everything on all the Bluetooth on everything works fine on my phone, the Victron, everything. But for whatever reason, the tablet, and I thought this Raspberry Pi would be okay too, but it's not. However, I can mount it down in the bay where everything is, and I've tried that, and it works fine. So it's close enough to all the bits and pieces that all the components down there, that the Bluetooth signal is strong enough. So what I'm doing is getting 20-foot cables for everything. I'm still waiting for the HDMI cable to show up, and then I'll mount all of this down in the bay, mount the panel or the display in that panel up there. And what I did is I installed a version or an Android operating system on it, which is a bit of a rigmarole. It's an unsupported or unofficial version, if you want to call it that, or whatever. But if anybody wants to do this, there's all kinds of tutorials on how to do that. So I'm not going to get into explaining that, but there's videos on how to do it. And it's because it's unofficial, it doesn't by default. You have the Play Store, but oops, that didn't work. But if you jump through all the hoops and wiggle your nose just right, you can get the Play Store working as well. So that lets you download all the apps that are going to be you know, that you want to use. So at this point, I'm going to get the sea level tank monitoring system, and then the new one, the version they have has Bluetooth, so I'll use that. I have the two Renogy solar charge controllers. This is the Victron Connect app, which has both the shunt and the come on, you can do it. The shunt and the solar charge controller on it, but you can't find anything. It's too far away, so that's why it has to go down in the bay. This is the BMS, the JK BMS I have on my battery bank, and then the home. I have a bunch of battery bay temperatures, you know, a bunch of temperature sensors and heaters and this kind of thing on smart switches. So my water pump and water heater are also on smart switches. My entry door light is on a timer. It's also on a smart plug. It's not smart switches, smart plugs. Anyways, as well as my underbody LED lights, and they're on those ones are on timers. These ones, you know, I can turn on and off as I want them. Anyway, so that's, you know, that's what I'm going to do here for. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And so that's my plan for the for monitoring all the different systems, and that's all I have at the moment. But I can add, you know, if I need something, I can add it to that screen. You know, as I said, because this is an unofficial version, there's a few things that don't work. You know, the screen timeout, so where the screen goes blank, doesn't work for some reason. So, but if you hold the you know, it has a power button on it, you can turn the monitor on and off. You just have to hold the on off button for, I think it's 3 seconds, and it turns on and off. So that works fine. So anyways, that's another little project I'm working on, and I'll video a little bit more of this as I get it installed and the panel built and all that kind of stuff. I have a bunch of electronic stuff in behind that panel there above the fridge, so you know, if it's hinged, then I can get at it whenever I need to. Right now it's screwed on. I gotta take the screws out to get at it. But anyways, just another little project I'm working on. All right, so it's been a couple of months since I put this Raspberry Pi down in the battery bay there so I can monitor the batteries, as well as I don't have the tank monitoring system yet, but the app is installed. I'm going to get the sea level tank monitoring, and it's Bluetooth as well. But the Victron and the BMS, and also I have a bunch of smart plugs and whatnot. So that's what this one here is for. And as I said when I first set this up, this is a unofficial version of Android on a Raspberry Pi, and it's a Raspberry Pi 5, so the latest version. And it's been in there for, this is like 2 months later. It's working really good. I mounted it just temporarily up here, just to make sure that I was happy with it, and I find that it's too high. If I go and try and let's see if I can do this here, I gotta really crank my neck up to be able to see the information. I'm trying to run this thing while working the camera. Hang on a second here. There we go. Nope, hit the wrong one again. Dumb. There we go. So this is only a 7-inch screen, so it's you know, the information's fairly small when it's way up here. So oh, come on, yeah, silly thing. So what I think I'm going to do, this was going to be where I put all my monitoring equipment and that as I get it. The slider controls are all up there, and they're fine there. But and the as I've mentioned before, on the back side of this is the 12-volt fuse panel. So that will all stay. But I think I'm going to do is partition it here and just build this as a cupboard. I'm going to take this and I'm going to mount it over here at eye level where my furnace control is, and I maybe move this over and mount it right in here, so it's just right at eye level. I think it'll be a lot more usable there. The only issue I have is that the HDMI cable for the video, if I initially got a 20-foot cable, and that the video is all distorted. I guess it just lost some information or whatever, and so it didn't work. So I have a 12-foot one in there, and that seems to be working fine. But any longer than that, and the display doesn't work properly. So I have to route this from down below up through the floor here and up to here, and have the Raspberry Pi down below mounted less than 12 feet away, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But I've done some measurements, I can do it. I just have to route it in the right place. So anyways, that was just a little bit of a update on that thing, in case anybody's wondering how that worked. I'll put this with the original video that I made, and it works really well. So if anybody is interested in going this route, it works good. They also make this in a 10-inch screen, so maybe that would be a little bit better. I don't know. But I think the 7-inch screen will be fine if I mount it down, where it's more at eye level. So anyways, that's all about for that now.